Hey folks, I know when I did that video, it was, a different day, but it was going to be the last one, but then I looked and because I was uploading videos and I got to about part 15, 17 or so, and then more questions popped up and, it's the least I could do. I mean, these guys were nice enough to send me questions. The least I can do, like right now, I'm uploading part 24 as I'm doing this. The least I can do is answer these guys' questions. But at the same time, it's like it has to stop sometime. But um, still, they were nice enough to send questions. The least I can do is answer questions, and they'll be from kcott44, traileraddictchannel, the Red Legacy, Professor Looney, who put the questions on my update on the Q&A, and then lilrockercutie2005, who put the questions on my part 9. So I just have to get that page up. So I guess I'll go with lilrockercutie2005. I've noticed that some of your, I mean, it's the least I can do. I mean, they were nice enough to send questions up. The least I can do is answer them. I think that's the right thing to do. They were nice enough to send them. I mean, they took the time to write them. You know, I've noticed that some of your rants can be quite epic. What is it about certain movies that make you rant like that? Mainly because if it wasted my time, if it wasted my money, if it was wasted potential, if I saw, a dozen things that could have been done better or should have been done, or if it's just stuff that insults my intelligence, I'm not as dumb as people may think I am, then I rant on it. Or if it was boring, if it didn't entertain me, then I'm going to entertain myself. I entertain myself by ranting. So if it's not going to have fun, I'm going to have fun. So really, that's why. I know you don't like the Nightmare remake, but how do you feel about their plans for a potential sequel? Uh, I hate it. I mean, I hate the remake, but I'm not looking forward to a sequel because I thought the remake had no imagination. I thought the writing was piss poor. I thought the acting was lackluster. I thought Jackie Earle Haley didn't care for Miss Freddy. The lead girl was horrendous in that film. She was boring like a block of wood, no emotion. Didn't care about the characters. The It's a story about dreams. You could do anything with dreams, but yet let's lift scenes from the original, like the hand coming out of the tub, or a CGI face coming out of a wall. I'm like, this is dreams. Freddy Krueger can do anything in a dream, and the most imagination you can come up with is stealing scenes from the very first film. You want to reboot the franchise? It's a guy with dreams. He can do anything. And it's like, well, we don't have the imagination to come up with that. So, oh, that bathtub scene that worked the first time, and a CGI face through the wall that worked in the first movie. I mean, and it looked bad. I mean, so I would not look forward to a sequel. I know you're huge into horror, but have you ever heard of a movie called Trailer Park of Terror? Uh, haven't seen that one. Haven't seen that movie. So sorry about that. Actually, no. I think I did see that movie once, but I don't remember much about it actually. That's sorry about that. Sounds familiar. In terms of the classic slashers, what would your favorite be? I have a lot of films that I enjoy in the slashers. I love the Friday 13th films, Nightmare on Elm Street films, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4. I like Scream. I know favorites would be like the original My Bloody Valentine, the original April Fool's Day. Those would be up there. It's hard to pick one that's my absolute favorite, but those are some of my favorites. But thank you for the questions. Next up, let's go with Professor Looney. Get to that page. Do you look forward to Terminator 5? It's supposed to be very R-rated. Not at all. Terminator 5 you don't need. I don't need a 50, 60-year-old Terminator. It doesn't even make sense. Why would they have a Terminator that's old? And Terminator 3 and 4, it's not like I was the biggest fans of those movies. And you don't need to do Terminator 5. Arnold, just do stuff like The Last Stand that you're doing. Don't go back to Terminator. I don't need to see an old Terminator. I don't care if it's R-rated. I don't care if it's NC-17. I don't think it's needed. It's a film that's not needed, and for me, not wanted. You can't really do anything more with the Terminator film, in my opinion. Did you see Predator 2 in the theaters? No, because I was probably about 7 years old when it came out, so unfortunately I would love to have seen it in the theaters, but I didn't. Do you still dislike Predators? Yes, I know you're a big fan of Predators, and that's fine, but I don't like the film. I don't like the acting. I don't care for the lead, Adrian Brody. I don't buy him as an action star. I think they wasted the potential. They lied in the trailers with having 50 beams on Adrian Brody's body. They had lackluster action. It took too long for anything to get started. It was a lackluster ending, which they stole stuff from the very first movie with Adrian Brody having his shirt off, covered with mud, saying, "Come on, do it, kill me now." The exact same line that Arnold said in the first movie, and you have fire around. It will just remind you of the first movie. You have the jungle setting once again, like the first movie. Uh, People falling down a waterfall like Arnold did in the first movie. It's just way too many callbacks to the point of it became annoying, and it made me go, you know what? I would rather just see the first movie. Just re-release the first movie on the big screen. At least Predator 2 became its own movie. Predators, I don't think it became its own movie. I think what it did was it took too many things from the very first film. It wasn't that exciting. I didn't care for the cast. Adrian Brody, I really did not care for his voice. I didn't care for him as the lead. The character itself was kind of an asshole. Uh, Lawrence Fishburne just being crazy. I thought they could have done a lot more with that character. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, they could have done a lot more with him. And the fact that at one point they wanted Arnold or Danny Glover, I think, for that character, I would have been even more pissed. So Predators, I'm not a fan of. It did nothing for me. What do you think about Electro and Amazing Spider-Man 2? I think it's not really that great of a villain. I mean, he shoots electricity, but I don't know. I don't like the first Amazing Spider-Man, so I don't really care for the sequel. I know a good guy on here mentioned, like, I was complaining about how Spider-Man kept showing his identity, and really, if you think about Daredevil, kind of did the same thing because Ben Affleck's character is fighting Jeffrey Gardner on Seesaw, where everyone can see him, but he's supposed to be blind. And you got me on that, but I like Daredevil much more. I just was more entertained. I was more entertained. So I guess if a movie doesn't entertain me, then everything else is going to bug the shit out of me. I'll nitpick a movie that I hate, because if I don't like it, then why should I treat it nice? But 5, suspense or action? Choose one. Be action. I would go with action. Have you seen Limitless with Bradley Cooper? If so, what are your thoughts? That's a movie I liked. See, I don't hate everything. That's not against Professor Looney. That's against other, I like Limitless. I thought Bradley Cooper did a good job acting. I thought the story was pretty well told. That was an intriguing idea that he takes this, I forget, I think it was pills, and then like he can use his mind, his ability more. Like he can kind of like sort of like became a Goodwill Hunting. Like he became very smart, and he could do things, and um, he could be limitless with his mind. Not like superpowers or anything, but it's a little bit of kind of like a sci-fi. But I liked it. I thought I was intrigued by the story. I was intrigued with the ideas for the film. So I liked Limitless. I just say I liked that. But thanks for the questions. Next up is kcott44. Have you seen the TV series Entourage and Supernatural? I've heard of Entourage. I know Kevin Dillon's in it, but I haven't seen that. Haven't seen Supernatural. I've seen clips. I'm like, I'm not sure. I know one guy starred in the Friday the 13th reboot. The other starred in the My Bloody Valentine remake reboot. But show just I don't have cable, so I don't watch cable that much. So I don't. The only TV shows I watch are like ones I liked, and I buy them on DVD sets. But haven't seen those. Did you ever see the 1996 sci-fi horror film Within the Rock, Dreamcatcher, or The Dark Side of the Moon? Dark Side of the Moon I've heard of because my friend Mike goes to B2 Mutations. I think he did a review for that film. I know he really liked it. I think he did a review for Within the Rock. I remember he at least told me about it and he thought it was it. I don't remember what he thought about it actually, but I haven't seen that one either. I have seen Dreamcatcher. I saw it in the theater. I was very disappointed. Granted, that may be how the book is, but I like the way the build up with Thomas Jane and Jason Lee and such. They're friends. They get together. They're having fun. But then, like, I thought it was going in one direction. Like, oh wow, it's going to be kind of maybe I thought it was going to be a little bit deeper, a little bit smarter, a little bit more thought provoking than it was. You know, a group of friends having to deal with a situation together, but not really. It's like they get together. It's like it's building to one thing, but then all of a sudden you have shit weasels, and Jason Lee dies in a stupid way, and then it's Thomas Jane just being crazy to a point where he has a fucking gun that like a phone. To me, Oliphant just does this and shows someone around until he gets killed, and the fourth guy is possessed by an alien or an alien takes over his body or whatever. And then you got Morgan Freeman, Tom Sizemore. I'm like, what are they doing there? And then they get the Ripley. I'm like, really? Yeah, be as on the nose as that. Granted, that may be how the book is, but it seemed like a clusterfuck kitchen sink sort of thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like now, Jason Lee died in stupid ending, stupid way. Oh, that sucks. Like I thought it was about four friends taking on this force. Jason Lee, he didn't even need to be there. It's like he's there so he can die first. To be all fun, so he can whittle his finger and then die. And then the guy's possessed, and Thomas Jane is pretty much just keeping up. Like it's the movie's not even about the friends anymore. Like this build up of whoa, they were kids and they got these powers and they're from this Duddits guy, and really it's not about the friends together. It's they all get separated and one's bizarre. It's like you think it's about these four together, and then it's not. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What's going on here? So I didn't like Dreamcatcher. Sorry about that. Thank you for the questions though. Trailer Addict Channel asks, what are some of your underrated action films genre? Sorry. What are some underrated action film gems in your opinion? Thanks for asking all the questions. Great job in the QA so far. Oh, thank you. Underrated action film gems for me would be I put Hard Target on there. I put for me Cyborg, Sudden Death. I put Over the Top's not an action film though. Rambo 3 I always liked. Daylight I always liked. Shoot 'em Up, The Tournament, Dread 3D recently. I liked Predator 2. I know there's more. Drive with Mark Dacascos. Automatic with Olivier Gruner, as well as Nemesis. I put Riot with Gary Daniels. Last Man Standing, and was it Martial Outlaw or Martial Outlaw? I forget what one other what Jeff Wincott. Um, what was one? Daily Outbreak with Jeff Speedman. I think is very criminally underrated, as well as Street Night. Maybe even The Perfect Weapon. I would put that as underrated. Tournament, Shoot 'em Up, Predator 2, Rambo 3, Daylight, Tango and Cash. I don't know if that would be called underrated, but I would put it on there. Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis. The Fifth Element, not really an action film, I guess, but a little bit sort of. I would say that's underrated. I mean, I guess it depends what you feel is underrated, but I think those are some. I could name all day the movies I think are underrated, but those are some of them that I feel is underrated or are underrated. But Drive with Martha Costos, I think I said that. But either way, thanks for the questions. And then I have about 6 questions, but I better finish that in another video. So next time will be the final video. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Next time will be the final video.